Leaving the Bolo star sector, Saya and Tangdun travel to a quiet bar on another planet. They take a seat at the counter as a muscular beast man bartender prepares their order. The bartender brings them 2 large mugs of beer, apologizing for making them wait. Saya immediately downs a massive gulp of his drink. The sudden action startles Tangdun, who nearly coughs while holding his own beer. Saya turns to his companion with a serious expression, warning him not to be fooled by President Hobart's public welcome, calling the man a hypocrite. Tangdun smiles calmly, assuring Saya he never listens to politicians. Hearing this, a relieved Saya laughs and playfully slaps Tangdun's shoulder. Saya sighs in relief, admitting his biggest fear was that Tangdun might have been swayed by Hobart's act. As they relax, Tangdun takes a swig of his beer. After Lu Sheng left, Saya followed his advice and permanently quit the dangerous dimensional battlefield. He's not sure why Tangdun returned with him but feels fortunate to have the warrior by his side. Saya silently calculates his precarious situation. He knows having a level 12 expert like Tangdun as a bodyguard will make his enemies hesitate, but this security is only temporary. He recalls the assassin Huang Ji nearly killing him. With their vast wealth, his enemies can easily hire another expert, especially since they found him on the battlefield. Saya grips his glass, sweating nervously. Now that he has returned, his enemies have more opportunities to eliminate him. He must find a way to secure his safety before they attack again. Breaking the silence, Tangdun looks over in confusion and asks Saya if they only came to this bar to drink. Saya's serious expression softens into a confident smile. He tells Tangdun they are waiting for someone who is very important to him. Taking another sip, Saya looks away anxiously, hoping that if he is also important to her, she will come. The quiet bar is interrupted by the clicking of high heels. A woman with short, pinkish-purple hair and elf ears arrives, softly calling Saya's name. Saya turns around and exclaims her name in sheer disbelief. Overcome with emotion, Saya pulls the woman into a tight hug, crying with joy and repeating how wonderful it is to see her. As they hold each other, they share their relief. Saya is thankful she's alive, while Meifu admits she never thought she'd see him again after his exile. While the reunited couple happily laughs, Tangdun stands silently to the side, staring at the woman with a stoic, unreadable expression. Realizing his mistake, Saya introduces Tangdun to Meifu, proudly declaring the warrior is his best friend from the battlefield who saved his life. Upon hearing this, Meifu's warm demeanor vanishes. She gives Tangdun a cold, calculating glare and responds in a flat, questioning tone. Sensing her hostility, Tangdun steps forward, leaning in uncomfortably close and startling Meifu. The massive warrior rubs his chin, quietly noting her reaction to the news. With narrowed eyes, Tangdun bluntly accuses Meifu of being unhappy that he kept Saya alive on the battlefield. Saya cries out, bewildered by the sudden confrontation, while a panicked Meifu stares up at the intimidating warrior. Sweating and unsettled, Meifu stammers a weak denial, struggling to hide her feelings under Tangdun's intense gaze. Saya quickly steps between them and shoves Tangdun, telling his friend not to make such wild accusations. Pulling Meifu into a protective embrace, Saya declares that she is his girlfriend and the only person in the entire star sector he can truly trust. The tension breaks as Tangdun rubs the back of his head with an awkward smile, claiming his accusation was just a poorly timed joke. Relieved, Saya asks Meifu to forgive his friend's rough humor. Smiling warmly, Meifu reassures him that she isn't bothered. Saya's expression hardens as he asks if Wells knows of his return. Meifu points out that since his arrival with President Hobart was publicized, his enemies almost certainly know. Meifu instructs Saya to remain hidden at the bar. She intends to infiltrate the Larissa's family to gather intelligence, promising to return if she uncovers any threats. Alarmed, Saya protests that sneaking into his family's territory alone is far too dangerous for her. Meifu places a finger over Saya's lips to silence him. With a loving smile, she insists that risking herself for him is no burden, and that she must leave immediately. Saya stares back in silence, his face filled with concern and hesitation about letting her walk into danger. Meifu suddenly turns and sprints toward the exit. Unable to let her go, Saya yells for her to wait, deciding he will go with her. Saya bursts through the bar's doors, chasing after Meifu and calling out her name. He reaches the docking area just as Meifu seals herself inside a sleek, hovering transport ship. Saya stops, shocked at how quickly she left him behind. Suddenly, the ship takes flight and leaves Saya behind. Inside the cockpit, Meifu's loving facade is gone, replaced by a cold glare. She relays Saya's coordinates to a patrol fleet, ordering them to fire a heavy gamma cannon to ensure his death. Sitting back in her chair, Meifu outlines the cover-up, blame the strike on a system malfunction. She demands the operation be executed within 1 minute. A sinister grin spreads across Meifu's face. She mocks Saya's new military title, sneering that a veteran could never scare the powerful Lyursa's family. A holographic screen shows a well-dressed man holding red wine. Meifu smiles, addressing him as Wells, and asks if he witnessed the events. Meifu's expression hardens as she admits the level 12 warrior nearly saw through her act. Fortunately, she adds, Saya remained naive and didn't suspect her betrayal. Wells asks Meifu what her next steps will be. Watching her projection from a luxurious chair, Wells asks if this assassination is the final test before she can officially marry him. Leaning back with a confident laugh, Wells tells her she can certainly view it that way. Wells' expression darkens. He casually adds that it doesn't bother him that she was previously his brother's woman, revealing his connection to Saya. Hearing this, Meifu reacts with disgust, frantically screaming at Wells to stop bringing up the past. Clenching her fist, Meifu complains that the thought of being with an idiot like Saya makes her want to change bodies again. Amused by her reaction, Wells smirks and sips his wine, lightly apologizing before asking her to continue her report. Meifu clenches her fist, declaring she will manually activate the patrol ship's gamma cannon to ensure the assassination is successful. Swirling his wine, Wells looks skeptical, noting that a level 12 expert like Tangdun wouldn't be killed by that weapon. Meifu coldly corrects him, explaining that the bodyguard's survival is irrelevant. Since Saya is only level 11, the blast will be enough to vaporize him. Pleased with her ruthlessness, Wells praises her cunning, stating it makes her far more suited to be his future countess. He then asks when she will strike. Her face twisting into a crazed grin, Meifu answers that she is initiating the attack right now. High in orbit, a satellite locks onto the coordinates and fires a devastating beam of energy down onto the planet. Safely on her ship, Meifu watches the massive explosion tear through the docking bay. She laughs maniacally, telling Wells the blast is a perfect funeral for Saya. However, in the ruins, the dust clears to reveal Saya is still alive, frozen by the betrayal. His disbelief instantly turns to pure rage. With eyes glowing purple, a furious Saya curses the woman who just tried to murder him.